Trump calls for the nuclear option and wants to get rid of the filibuster. Now, we already know that's going to cue all the crazy leftists saying that he's a fascist dictator and wants all the control in the world. But us logical, normal thinking people know that that's not the truth. So some of you may not know what the filibuster is. So before we get into today's video, I am going to give you a quick, fast overview of it. The filibuster was put in place in the Senate as a safety net. So whichever party controlled the Senate couldn't throw out bills with all of their agendas and their talking points and just get them passed with only a majority vote, which is 51 votes. So how it works is currently the Senate has 100 seats. And in order to pass a bill, 60 of those seats have to vote in favor of the bill, which does require some Democrats or some Republicans to vote for these bills. But we'll get more into that later. Enough of all the boring stuff. Roll the clip.
Filibuster requires 60 votes to pass funding to reopen the government. Getting rid of it would mean Republicans could pass the bill with a simple majority vote. But it's empty on Capitol Hill this morning, and senators have left town for the weekend ahead of the critical day. Tomorrow marks the first day of open enrollment as well for Obamacare, where health premiums have skyrocketed, a major sticking point for Democrats. And also tomorrow, 42 million Americans who rely on food stamps will see a lapse in benefits, forcing many to go hungry or skip paying certain bills so that they can buy food for themselves and their families. CNN's Kevin Liptak is joining us now from the White House. Kevin, what is the latest? We have seen these posts from the president making some demands on his Republican colleagues.
Yeah, and they call this the nuclear option for a reason. It's viewed as a last resort, even by members of the majority, and it would have the effect of incinerating precedent in the Senate. And so this is a step that even Republicans have been wary to use in the past, but clearly President Trump has made the determination that now is the time. He said he gave this a lot of thought on that lengthy flight back from Asia, where he says he was asked repeatedly why the U.S. government remains shut down, and now is calling on Republicans to eliminate that 60 vote threshold.
All right, so time out for 1 second. I completely understand that getting rid of the filibuster is a very, very sticky situation. And I can see both sides of it. And currently the president is just tired of the way that the Democrats are dragging out this government shutdown. They have voted on this bill more than 12 other times. A dozen times they voted on this bill. And the president's like, man, I'm tired of drawing this out. I see that the American people are suffering. I see that businesses are suffering because people are looting and stealing things. And he's saying it's time to get this government back up and running. So if getting rid of the filibuster is what it takes, then let's do it. But that is a very, very tough situation to be in, because the Democrats they're holding out because they're stating that they want health care for all. But according to the Republicans, the Democrats want to give health care to illegal migrants, and also they want to give benefits such as SNAP benefits and EBT benefits to illegal migrants, which we should not be paying for illegal migrants' health care or their food. But with that same thought, if you take away the filibuster and at some point the Democrats get control of the Senate, and they regain that control, all hell's going to break loose, because they are going to be pushing out bills left and right that are the most insane things you've ever seen. And trust me, none of us want to see the Democrats in control with no filibuster in place. But let's hear what Speaker Johnson has to say about all of this. Roll it.
For Senate Republicans to blow up the filibuster in order to get the continuing resolution passed. I know in the past you've been reluctant to encourage your Senate colleagues to do that or not. Are you aligned with the president now that it's time for him to take this dramatic step to really?
I haven't. The president's been very busy. He was in, Asia doing all these trade agreements. I've been a little busy, as you know. We haven't spoken since he returned. I sent him a text earlier this morning. I saw that as well. What you're seeing is an expression of the president's anger at the situation. He is as angry as I am and the American people are about this madness. And he just desperately wants the government to be reopened so that all these resources can flow to the people who need it so much. Look, I'll just say this in general. As I've said many times about the filibuster, it's not my call. I don't have a say in this. It's a Senate chamber issue. We don't have that in the House, as you know. But the filibuster has traditionally been viewed as a very important safeguard. If the shoe was on the other foot, I don't think our team would like it. The Democrats Look, they've said what they would do. They would pack the Supreme Court. They would make Puerto Rico and D.C. states. They would ban firearms. They would do all sorts of things that would be very harmful for the country. And the safeguard in the Senate has always been the filibuster. But again, not my issue, not something I get to even weigh in on. My opinion on this is not relevant. It's the senators. But I think that it just is another expression of the frustration, of the pressure that is being felt, the anger by the president and by me and all of us that we're in this situation at all. Do your basic job. I'm going to say this again. We have put zero Republican policy priorities on the CR. It is Biden-level policies and spending. They have no excuse at all not to support it. They have no excuse to put all this pain on the American people, except that for what we've just articulated and repeated here every day, they want to give a showing to the radical left fringes of their base, and they want to give illegal benefits or benefits back to illegal aliens and non-citizens and all the other crazy stuff that they've claimed. Yeah.
Can I respond?
Sure.
I just very quickly, I have not spoken to the president either since last night, but let me say this. He is, and I've been next to him for almost 9 or 10 years now. He is so resolutely focused on delivering for the American people all day, every day, 7 days a week, 20 hours a day. This is what he is thinking about. And as the world's greatest deal maker, from his perspective, the way he thinks out of the box as a businessman is how do we end this nonsense, and how do we again open the government, and how do we support these families that need support?
So you hear that, and I will start off by saying that I do feel bad for the elderly and the disabled that truly do need these benefits, and they're falling on hard times because these benefits are being taken away. But I think we can all agree on that the people that shouldn't be getting them are illegal migrants and these people that are U.S. citizens that are actually lifetime freeloaders on the benefits. They just keep popping out kids, and they're taking full advantage of the system to where they don't ever plan on bettering their situation. Benefits were put in place to be a temporary measure for when you fall on hard times. And when you work your way out of those hard times, you get off the benefits. But a lot of these people are like, hey, I found the loophole. I don't ever have to get off of these benefits as long as I keep having kids, and I can just keep getting my food paid for me. I can live in Section 8 housing, pay $30 a month for rent. It's the most ridiculous thing, and a lot of these people need to get knocked off, and I think going on these hard times and removing these benefits actually can benefit us to hopefully get a lot of these people off of these benefits so that they can be used for the people that actually need them. Now, I wasn't aware of how many illegal migrants were actually getting these benefits. So I got one more video for you guys, and it's showing how many migrants are actually getting benefits from our taxpayer dollars, which makes no sense to me. Roll the clip.
42 million people in this country that need food stamps on a weekly basis. And we're saying people deliberately instead of Americans, because most of the people that are on food stamps aren't even from this country. 45% of Afghanistan immigrants are on food stamps, 42% of Somali immigrants, 34% of every immigrant from Iraq, 23% of Haitians, 59% of all illegal aliens are collecting food stamps, meaning that most of the people getting food stamps from the U.S. government and the U.S. taxpayer are not even Americans. Think about that. And we didn't know about any of this before the government shutdown started, but thanks to Democrats, we can confirm tonight that millions of Joe Biden illegal aliens, people who crossed the border when Joe was president, are now collecting food stamps from a program funded by hardworking American taxpayers.
But that's all I got for you guys today. If you stuck around this long, please think about smashing that subscribe button, like, comment, and share this video so that we can keep the conversations going. And I'll see y'all on the next one.